that night, I stayed the night, like once production left everything, we had champagne and things escalated more. At that moment, I was like, ew, am I gonna have sex with Colt? Like, all of a sudden, I just see him like rolling across the bed like a sniper, and then he just starts like me, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I still have like my champagne in my hand, and I'm like, what is going on? Because I didn't know he could like move.
90 Day Fiancé fans, grab your popcorn because Cortney Reardon's just served the hottest tea yet, and she left absolutely nothing to the imagination. The reality star recently opened up about some steamy and intimate moments she shared with Colt Johnson, and trust us, she didn't hold back. While chatting with Tiffany, Cortney revealed shocking details about her night with Colt, completely unaware that her juicy confessions would be broadcast for the world to see. Yes, everything, from the flirty antics to the wild moments, was on national television for fans to feast on. Hey Race, what went down? You know how in the movies, guys sweep girls off their feet with grand gestures? Well, Colt apparently got inspired by scenes like Titanic, where the guy sketches his love interest to win her over. So Colt, despite having a leg injury that limited his mobility, decided to sketch Cortney's face and add a romantic flair to their evening. But let's just say, his artistic skills didn't quite hit the mark. Cortney couldn't stop laughing at the drawing, and viewers could almost hear the collective "oh no" from the audience. The flirtation didn't stop at sketching. Cortney and Colt had been spending a lot of private time together during the production, and things quickly turned steamy. She revealed to Tiffany that after the cameras wrapped, they shared champagne, and Colt got a little closer than expected. Cortney described the moment when Colt initiated some very intimate actions, leaving her completely in shock. Yes, Cortney actually shared on national television that Colt got down on her in ways fans might not have expected. She admitted she was stunned, even questioning whether he could actually pull off such moves, but it turns out he did, and Cortney really enjoyed it. When Tiffany cheekily asked if Colt was good at his job, Cortney didn't hesitate to say he was impressive.
So was it good?
Yeah.
Her laughter and candid storytelling had fans both shocked and entertained. Fans couldn't get enough of Cortney's revelations. One user wrote, "Cortney is the best. She needs her own show." While another commented, "I love her." That laugh! Many viewers were particularly caught off guard by what she described as Colt's snipper move, which had everyone talking and laughing. Even though some of her NSFW details made a few viewers blush or skip lunch, the overall reaction was overwhelmingly positive. Cortney's honesty, humor, and dramatic flair turned what could have been a simple gossip story into one of the most talked about moments of the season. In short, Cortney spilled the tea, left fans in stitches, and proved once again why she's one of the most entertaining personalities on 90 Day Fiancé.
Everything's been crazy here, honestly.
Have you met some people that you're interested in, or?
Yeah, all the guys are really, really impressive and attractive, so there's a good group of people here.
I mean, have you held hands with anybody or been kissing anybody, you know, going on dates?
I did end up kissing a lady. Her name is Jennifer.
When 90 Day Fiancé and the family Chantel star Chantel Everett signed up for Hunt for Love, she was hoping to turn a fresh page in her dating life. But what unfolded on the retreat wasn't just another round of speed dating or tropical flirtations. It became a deeply personal journey of self-discovery, complicated feelings, and a rekindled connection with someone she already knew all too well. Ashley Bowen, Chantel's close friend and long-rumored girlfriend, made her debut on the show and wasted no time stirring up drama. While still navigating questions about her own sexuality, Ashley openly explored connections with men, and in true reality TV fashion, she knowingly flirted with one of Tiffany's love interests, sending shockwaves through the retreat. For Chantel, the trip was far from smooth sailing. She admitted she wasn't having the great time she'd hoped for. Not only was she struggling to meet the man of her dreams, but she also dealt with unexpected insecurities. During a photo shoot, she wore a bright yellow bikini but quickly grew self-conscious. Her larger chest, she felt, wasn't flattering in the outfit. They were literally falling out. Chantel confessed, admitting she was considering a breast reduction. Tim Malcolm, never shy with his opinions, reacted with a mix of surprise and mild disappointment, telling her he wished she saw herself differently. Still reeling from her divorce from Pedro Jimeno, Chantel had been on a string of dates since the split, none of which led to lasting love. In one earlier episode, frustrated and questioning whether she'd ever find a partner, she met Joe. Despite a noticeable 10-year age gap, Joe reassured her he wasn't immature and planned a unique, intimate date, a beer bath. The two stripped into swimwear, slipped into the warm, bubbling tub, and shared a steamy session that hinted at possible chemistry. But the most pivotal moment of the season came when Chantel picked up the phone to call Ashley back home. What started as a casual check-in quickly morphed into a heart-on-the-sleeve confession. Chantel admitted that despite having plenty of opportunities to connect with singles at the retreat, none of them made her feel the way Ashley did. Even after her beer bath date and casual flirtations, her mind kept wandering back to her best friend. She told Tim she had been questioning her sexuality and wasn't sure whether intimacy with Ashley was possible, but emotionally, something powerful was pulling her in that direction. During the video call, Ashley was curious about Chantel's new flings. That's when Chantel dropped the bombshell. She had kissed another woman at the retreat, a contestant named Jennifer. While the kiss was impulsive, it immediately triggered guilt. In the back of her mind, Ashley's presence was strong, almost as if she'd been standing right there watching. The trip to Tulum made Chantel realize her feelings for Ashley weren't just casual curiosity, they were rooted in deep friendship and genuine emotional connection. She told Ashley that while the kiss with Jennifer was fun, it only clarified one thing: she wanted to come back home to her. Chantel urged Ashley to consider taking their relationship beyond platonic. It wasn't the first time they'd crossed that line. In the past, they'd shared a kiss at a bar, but nothing more. At the time, Ashley had feelings for Chantel, but the latter didn't reciprocate. This time was different. Ashley's reaction was pure joy. She told Chantel she was jumping in happiness and openly admitted, "I really want to be with you." It was a turning point for both women, a moment where years of friendship, subtle flirtation, and unspoken what-ifs finally collided into something real. Whether this long-simmering connection will blossom into a full-fledged romance remains to be seen. For now, fans are split, some rooting for them to embrace love without labels, while others warn that friendships-turned romances can get messy fast. But one thing is certain: Chantel's journey on Hunt for Love isn't just about finding a partner, it's about finally confronting her own heart, no matter how complicated it gets. Elise Benson's journey on Hunt for Love has gone from hopeful to heartbreaking, and now, downright humiliating. When she joined the reality dating experiment, the 90-day Fiancé alum was ready to embrace her single life and find a man who could be her perfect match. But what she found instead was a tangle of jealousy, betrayal, and emotional whiplash. From the start, Elise struggled to connect on her dates. That is, until Carlo entered the picture. Sparks flew, and the two quickly grew close. Carlo seemed genuinely interested in building something real. He even told Tiffany Franco, his other romantic interest in the house, that he felt a strong connection with Elise. He openly admitted to Tiffany that he and Elise had hooked up and hinted that he was leaning toward becoming exclusive with her. But in true reality TV fashion, Carlo's commitment didn't last long. Despite getting physical with Elise multiple times, Carlo suddenly pulled the plug. He blindsided her, calling their hookup a mistake and walking away as if none of it mattered. The abrupt shift left Elise heartbroken and questioning everything. Why the sudden change of heart? What had she done to deserve being tossed aside so quickly? The fallout came to a head when Tiffany confronted Elise directly. Without raising her voice, Tiffany calmly but firmly said, "I think you went behind my back with someone I actually shared with you that I cared about, someone I built a connection with." The hurt in her voice was undeniable. Elise, however, wasn't ready to take full blame. She acknowledged Tiffany's feelings but questioned why Tiffany was allowed to date other men while Carlo was suddenly off limits to her. The tension was palpable, and even Tim Malcolm, who had been watching the drama unfold, couldn't hide his disappointment. He labeled Elise as fake and bluntly asked, "Who does that to a friend?" Carlo, meanwhile, proved himself to be the definition of indecisive. When Tiffany was busy exploring connections with other men, he shifted his attention to Elise. But when Tiffany cooled toward him, he began to regret his choice. He later admitted to Tiffany that her cold reaction to hearing about his hookup with Elise had actually bothered him deeply. On top of that, the thought of managing a long-distance relationship and becoming a stepdad to her kids made him nervous. Still, Tiffany didn't make it easy for him. She admitted she had purposely reacted without emotion to make him feel insignificant after his betrayal. But the tables quickly turned when Carlo shocked her by asking for another chance. In a dramatic reversal, Carlo went crawling back to Tiffany, begging to be let back into her life and calling his fling with Elise a huge mistake. He didn't stop there. He then went to Elise and told her, point blank, that his heart had always been with Tiffany. Elise snapped. She demanded to know why he had slept with her, not once, but multiple times, if his heart belonged to someone else. I trusted you, you fucking hurt me, and I knew you were going to do this to me. She screamed, her voice breaking with anger. Carlo's excuse, you're special to me, but having sex was a mistake. Elise wasn't buying it. She reminded him that he had returned to her bed even after supposedly realizing Tiffany was the one. To her, that proved he had been playing both sides from the start. Now, the messy love triangle has left all three in a storm of resentment and broken trust. Fans are left wondering, will Tiffany actually forgive Carlo? Will Elise recover from the sting of public betrayal? Or is this the kind of reality TV wound that never really heals? 90 Day Fiancé fans, buckle up, because the drama just got a whole lot hotter. The never-ending feud between Jasmine Pineda and Natalie Mordovtseva has officially taken a new turn, and this time, Angela Deem has stepped into the ring. And guess what? She's made it crystal clear whose side she's on, and it's definitely not Jasmine's. Angela recently went public with her support for Natalie, openly declaring Team Natalie and leaving zero doubt about where her loyalties lie. For once, fans are surprisingly in agreement with Angela's stance, and many are praising her for taking a stand, something you don't hear often in the 90 Day fandom. But of course, Angela isn't just quietly picking a side, she's doing it in full Angela style, loud, unapologetic, and with a sprinkle of shade aimed directly at Jasmine. To understand the tension, we need to rewind a bit. Jasmine has always shown support for Michael Ilisanmi, even snapping friendly photos with him. But despite once admitting she was intimidated by Angela, she wasn't afraid to cross her. And if there's one thing Angela Deem doesn't take lightly, it's disloyalty. Ever since, Angela has made it her mission to put Jasmine in her place. She's praised Gino Palazzolo for living a better life without Jasmine, claiming he looks healthier and happier post-breakup. On social media, she hasn't held back, throwing jabs at both Jasmine and Kobe Blaze, while siding with Josh Weinstein after he labeled Jasmine a master puppeteer. It's no secret, Angela and Jasmine have never been two peas in a pod, and the tension has only been building. Things hit boiling point when Jasmine recently posted a smiling selfie with Michael. That move seemed to solidify Angela's choice to back Gino in any conflict involving Jasmine. So, when Jasmine and Natalie's ongoing feud escalated into an explosive physical altercation, it was no surprise to see Angela choosing Natalie's corner. In the now viral 90 Day Fiancé clip, Jasmine can be seen shoving Natalie, hurling insults like stripper and rear, and unleashing a stream of degrading comments. All while Gino, yes, her Gino, stood by and did absolutely nothing. His silence infuriated viewers, who couldn't believe he didn't even try to defend Natalie, a woman who had stepped into the situation on his behalf. Social media exploded. Fans flooded the comments, picking sides, and many, including Angela, were shouting Team Natalie loud and clear. Angela's comment didn't go unnoticed, and even Lisa Hem chimed in to support her stance. Angela didn't mince words. Jasmine was wrong, plain and simple, and she wasn't going to back her under any circumstances. Other 90 Day stars joined the chorus, including Kim Menzies, Jamal Menzies, and Veronica Rodriguez, all questioning Jasmine's behavior and slamming Gino for standing there like a statue while chaos unfolded. Many fans agreed that Natalie had walked into the mess for Gino's sake, only to be met with insults and zero protection. With the cast now weighing in, the fan base split, and Angela's involvement adding even more fuel to the fire, this feud has gone from petty reality TV drama to full-on 90 Day civil war. And if we know Angela Deem, this is just the beginning. Hunt for Love has been delivering its fair share of romantic twists, and one of the most talked about storylines centers around Cortney Reardans. In a bold move that surprised both fans and cast members, Cortney chose Colt over Usman, effectively ending whatever spark she might have had with the latter. Viewers have been buzzing ever since, wondering, did Cortney and Colt's connection blossom into a real romance, or did it fizzle out once the camera stopped rolling? From the moment Cortney arrived at the retreat as a single woman, both Colt and Usman zeroed in on her. They each wanted to win her heart, turning their mutual attraction into a heated rivalry. But everything shifted when an unexpected accident left Colt badly injured. It happened after a rainstorm when Colt, on his way to meet Cortney for a dinner date, slipped on a wet staircase. The fall was serious. He ended up fracturing his leg and had to be rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. Cortney immediately blamed herself, feeling guilty for having invited him out that night. Doctors ordered Colt to stay in bed for a lengthy recovery, but despite his condition, his determination to charm her didn't fade one bit. The show captured some of their sweetest and quirkiest moments during this time. Cortney became a constant presence by his side, fussing over his health and keeping him company. Their alone time gave Colt the perfect opportunity to make his move. In one memorable scene, Colt decided to woo Cortney with what he claimed was his hidden talent, sketching. Drawing inspiration from the iconic Titanic scene, he set out to create her portrait. Cortney teased him, joking that had better not make her look crazy, while she tried to sit as still as a statue. Unfortunately, when the drawing was finally revealed, it wasn't exactly a masterpiece. Cortney's reaction made that crystal clear. Still, there was something about Colt's goofy charm that seemed to work. Their chemistry was undeniable, whether they were laughing over his art skills or sharing candlelit date nights with red roses and champagne. Usman, however, wasn't ready to give up. Despite seeing Cortney's growing attachment to Colt, especially after she followed him to the hospital, Usman decided to confess his feelings. But Cortney was honest. She needed to figure out whether what she felt for Colt was genuine romance or simply empathy for his situation. That's when Colt dropped a bombshell. He admitted he was unemployed, homeless, and had been living in his car. Cortney was stunned. In a confessional, she sighed, "It's raining red flags on me right now." She joked that she'd need a lot more champagne to process the news, adding that Colt didn't seem particularly skilled at making money, either. Most would assume that revelation would be the end of their budding romance, but oddly enough, it seemed to pull Cortney in even more. She encouraged Colt to share his plans for life after recovery, and even spoke with him about possibly spending time together in Mexico. Before long, they were cuddled up in bed, sharing kisses and intimate moments. Fans began to root for them, until a behind-the-scenes bombshell was dropped. According to a source close to the situation, reported by Shabuti, the romance has already crashed and burned. Not only are Cortney and Colt no longer together, but rumors suggest she may have even thrown him out of her house. It's a classic 90-day fiancé tale, full of whirlwind romance, dramatic revelations, and a breakup that fans saw coming, but were still shocked to hear confirmed. Elizabeth Libby Poth's fairy tale trip to Moldova has turned into a nightmare, and it may have ended her marriage to Andrei Castrovet for good. The 90-day fiancé star originally flew to her husband's home country with their children for what was supposed to be a short visit. The goal? To test the waters and see if relocating to Moldova permanently could actually work for their family. From the start, Libby wasn't fully sold on the idea. She had concerns about cultural differences, a difficult language barrier, and uprooting their kids' lives in America. Still, she wanted to give it a fair shot. What she didn't know was that while she was busy adjusting to life abroad, her husband was hiding a bombshell secret, one that would shatter her trust and send her packing. The truth came out not from Andrei himself, but during an unexpected conversation between fellow 90-day fiancé couples. On the latest episode of Happily Ever After, Yara Zaya and Jovi Dufresne were catching up with Loren and Alexei Brovarnik in Florida when Yara brought up Libby's Moldova trip. She mentioned that Elizabeth seemed happy and hopeful about her time there. But Alexei immediately cast doubt, revealing that's not possible. Andrei already lost $75,000 he invested in a property. Jovi instantly panicked, telling Alexei, "Hey, we weren't supposed to say anything about that." But the damage was done. Alexei shrugged, saying he didn't realize it was a secret. He explained that Andre had sunk $75,000 into a property deal and lost everything. Back in Moldova, Libby's father, Chuck Pothist, had joined her for the trip. Naturally, he wanted answers. When he confronted Andre, the Moldovan native tried to frame it as our money rather than just Libby's. He explained that he had invested as a silent partner, letting others make the business decisions. Elizabeth, who had been under the impression that this property was a crucial part of their financial future, was crushed to learn the investment had already gone south. She had envisioned flipping properties as a way to build stability for their family. Instead, she was left blindsided, not just by the loss, but by the cover-up. The breaking point came when Libby learned that Andre had intentionally kept the truth from her. The bad investment is one thing, but on top of that, to cover his tracks and to lie. That's another level of betrayal, she said, her voice trembling with anger. Feeling humiliated and betrayed, Libby began packing her bags. She booked flights to take her children back to the U.S., making it clear she could no longer stay in Moldova, not after such a deep breach of trust. Andre, now facing the fallout, seemed more concerned about how to explain the situation to others than how to repair things with his wife. Like, how do I explain this to everybody? He asked, almost helplessly. Libby's response was cutting. He should tell the truth, that he never even told his own wife about the investment before it was too late. With her mind made up, Libby walked away, leaving Andre behind in Moldova. Whether this is the end of their marriage remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, this $75,000 secret might have cost Andre much more than money. What was supposed to be a warm, intimate trip to Michigan for 90-Day Fiancé star Natalie quickly spiraled into one of the most chaotic and humiliating moments of her reality TV journey. Natalie had traveled all the way to see Gino, determined to spend quality time together and truly understand the man she was considering a future with. Gino, in turn, reassured her that he had already asked his wife for a divorce and was ready to explore what their relationship could become. It sounded promising, until Natalie discovered a shocking detail. Gino's estranged wife, Jasmine, would be attending the same family event they were about to go to. This left Natalie baffled. If Gino and Jasmine were truly done, why was she still such a central part of his family gatherings? What followed was nothing short of a public ambush. The night of the party, tensions erupted. Jasmine, infamous in 90-Day Fiancé history for her volcanic temper and explosive outbursts, wasted no time turning the spotlight on Natalie. Fans have seen Jasmine scream at the top of her lungs and cross lines before, but this time, her behavior went even further. The Panamanian reality star hurled vicious insults, calling Natalie rear and prostitute in front of shocked onlookers. In a moment that stunned everyone, she physically shoved Natalie, forcing production to intervene. According to blogger Shabuti, what viewers saw on TV was only a fraction of the chaos. He claimed the attack was so intense that filming had to be stopped mid-scene, so the crew could calm things down. Eyewitnesses in the comments backed this up, saying Natalie did not deserve what happened to her. Meanwhile, Gino, the man who had invited Natalie into this storm, stood on the sidelines, watching it unfold. Instead of stepping in to shield her from his estranged wife's wrath, he simply advised Natalie to ignore Jasmine's words. That advice, unsurprisingly, didn't sit well with her. In the aftermath, Natalie left the party in tears, feeling humiliated, betrayed, and angry. She accused Gino of being the root cause of the drama, insisting that he should have resolved all the baggage from his past relationship before bringing her into his life. "One thing I'm not going to do is take disrespect," Natalie declared, still shaken. She couldn't understand why people at the party treated her like she was the criminal, when in reality, she had walked into a trap. She made her stance crystal clear. She did not want to be a part of this toxic triangle. Fans rallied behind her online, urging her to walk away from Gino once and for all. But hey, race where things get murky. On social media, Gino and Natalie still follow each other, although she keeps her Instagram private and he hasn't tagged her in anything recently. This has led fans to speculate that they might still be in contact, or perhaps hiding their true relationship status due to the 90-Day Fiancé NDA rules. For now, there are no concrete answers. Everything will likely come to light in the upcoming tell-all episodes, where these explosive confrontations are usually revisited in brutal detail. But one thing's for sure, After a night like that, many fans are hoping Natalie has already walked away from the drama for good. Until then, viewers are left wondering, did Gino manage to win her back? Or did Natalie finally slam the door shut on this relationship once and for all?